the Swamp, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in Gainesville. Hi, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler, and
What's up,
helping me call this
guys?
one is Kirk Herbstreit, and Aaron Andrews also joins us on the sideline.
Got some
This presentation of College
NCAA
Football is
12
brought to you
going
by
on
Coke
here.
Zero, real Coke taste and 0 calories.
Took me a while to get
Got a
this
good
to
one
work.
tonight between the Texas
Took
A&M
me a while to get it
Aggies
to
and
work
the
because
Florida
of the
Gators.
full screen. Full screen took me a while to figure it out, and then actually have the 2018 rosters running on this, which is cool, but I had to use, there's a modding tool called Horizon, and I messed around with that for a while, and then it turns out that it doesn't even work right for the NCAA football games, apparently. I found another one called Modio, and that one seemed to work just fine. So, and I spent a couple hours figuring this out, but I think it should work now. Got this running in coach mode.
For Texas A&M, they know their way here.
NCAA
Very dangerous and can get
12, I
very
think, was the first
When you've
one.
got two teams so closely matched, you look for your clutch players to
I don't
step
even
up
know
and
if the
make
older
plays.
ones had coach mode
For
in it,
Texas A&M, they've got a linebacker who's a force to be
but
reckoned with.
The running back who
NCAA
steps in the
12
backfield
was
is
the
a
first one to
stud.
add
So
back in
supporting the
the
run defense today is going to be vital.
broadcast
Now let's
camera
head down
because
the
I think
midfield
it
for the
was gone
Globetrotters
in
and remind you that this game
like
is brought to you by Coke
7
Zero,
to,
real Coke taste
or at least
and
on the
0
next gen
calories.
consoles. It didn't come back until this game. Actually have it running in this Xbox is outputting in 480p full screen. So if it looks a little blurrier than usual, then that's why.
Texas A&M has lined up for the kickoff, and we're ready to get this one underway.
And I don't know if some of the colors are off. I think some of the UI element colors are off. I might just be seeing stuff.
And he'll return this one from the 7. He's taken down at the 34.
I'm pretty excited that the college football season is starting back up. I don't keep up with like all the teams, but I kind of watch it at a
What
glance.
should we be looking for from them today?
Don't expect a lot of home runs from this offense, at least not at first.
I got the
This is
scores
a pretty
here
controlled,
for all the
consistent attack.
conferences.
And while they do put the ball in the air quite a bit, they use a lot of underneath routes and quick outs. Look for the deeper stuff later on once they've worn the defense down.
That was Felipe Franks. Remember the Florida Gators had some disgusting uniforms this year or that year, 2018. They were like this. It was like the color of the field, but
First down.
less saturated. And they were like puke green, mustard,
Runs left in
almost
third and
mustard
10.
colored,
A couple, maybe
like
3
moss
on the near
colored type
post.
uniforms. I get that they were trying to do the Gators thing, but that's kind of the thing with modern day
Second and
uniforms,
7. Ball on the 49.
especially with teams like Oregon. And I know Oregon was one of the teams that really led the way with
Takes it up the middle for a
like
nice
super
run.
flashy uniforms. I never understood it. Like I like customized uniforms and stuff, but I think they get carried away with like the
Third down, less than a yard.
ridiculous
Ball at
color
the
schemes.
34-yard
Like I
line.
think it was in 2013, Texas A&M had,
They'll
I
go
think
with a
it was a
run once
uniform
again.
set called
He's got an opening.
Ice Out or something like that.
He'll take it all the way for the touchdown.
And
Well,
they
there's
were
a
all
lot of
white
weapons that like
uniforms,
him in the backfield.
and then
Every
the
time he
trim,
touches the
including the
ball,
logo on the
he's
helmet,
capable of
was
tearing
like a
one off right
silver
now.
color. I mean, they were absolutely hideous uniforms. And there's actually a lot of teams that have uniforms like that. Like I said, I don't really understand what the deal is. I don't understand what the fascination is with these ridiculous uniforms. I think, solid colors and the alternative color, maybe two alternative colors, is really all you need. I really hope that football uniforms don't go the way of soccer uniforms. If you think about it, football uniforms, be it college or pro, typically are symmetrical. But if you look at soccer uniforms, a lot of them are like asymmetrical, diagonal lines, fades, and all this kind of stuff. All right. I'm down 7-0. So this roster set has A&M running the Arizona playbook. I don't know exactly what they have. It looks like it has some pistol formations in it.
So it's second down and about 2 yards to go.
I know that they were trying to, back in 2018, they were trying to run like a... Jimbo Fisher said that they wanted to, or his ideal team was someone like the Steelers in the 1970s. A team that could just line up and punch it in. But even last week's game, they weren't really able to do that. They're not really a power team, like a power running team. Although maybe Jimbo wants them to be, but that's not what they are. Could have passed it. Let's see how things are going in the ACC. Looks like South Florida got stomped by NC State. South Florida is like a team that... Forgot you need to snap the ball in this game, even in coach mode. South Florida is typically... I forget who their coach is. I know they had Charlie Strong for a while, who used to be at Texas. I think South Florida and Central Florida in recent years, they're like a team that... They're teams that... They're like... They're starting to have the potential of becoming a consistent competitor. But they seem to have like a lot of inconsistencies. Both South Florida and UCF. But they got romped by NC State 45-0. Sure, they're not very happy about that.
Second and 10. Ball on the 21-yard line. Florida is up a score.
Virginia Tech beats North Carolina 17-10.
Decides to slide. Franks picks up about 7 yards there, scrambling away from the pressure.
Duke loses to Charlotte. I don't think Charlotte is an FBS school.
From their own
Remember, Duke had a pretty good year, 2013. You got to the Chick-fil-A Bowl. I only know that because they play A&M.
burst combined
But
with
Duke is definitely not a football school.
From their own 47-yard line, it's first
Boston
down.
College beats Colgate. Beating up on a toothpaste company, I guess. 51-0.
Interesting to go with the same play again, but it paid off.
Pittsburgh
Gain
destroys UMass 51-7. Syracuse. Syracuse, I think, is where Donovan McNabb played. Beats Ohio 29-9.
From the 38-yard line, first down.
Georgia Tech loses a close one to Northern Illinois 21-22.
Franks drops to throw. And there's a penalty on the play. Let's see who it's on.
Virginia beats up on William and Mary. Notre Dame beats Florida State. And Ole Miss beats up on Louisville 43-24. I'll accept that.
Penalties can really kill momentum. But sometimes if you don't hold, your quarterback can take a pretty good shot.
See what's going on in the Big 12. Kansas beats South Dakota. I think I saw something about the Kansas fans rushing the field after beating South Dakota.
Well, after that injury, we'll get to see the backup quarterback here.
I think that's kind of...
And he's hammered as he lets it go.
Wow.
And as he threw it and it's caught, touchdown.
This guy just continues to impress me.
I feel like he should have gotten sacked there because he's already making contact, but I guess he got saved by the animation. Whatever. Yeah, Kansas, the fans were rushing the field. And I understand that Kansas hasn't won a game in however many, I don't know what their losing streak was, but it was pretty bad. So they irk out I guess a field goal win over South Dakota. A team that really has no business hanging in there with Kansas, but I guess then again it is Kansas. They're having some troubles. So all the fans rush the field. So the fans are happy, right? But the players didn't seem to share the enthusiasm. They were kind of just happy to get off the field with a win against South Dakota. So I don't know if the fans, or sorry, the players were really appreciative of what was going on there. Get that block. 5 yards. Tulane. I'll let the quarter run out. Tulane hangs in there with number 2 Oklahoma 35-40. And I think Tulane is in like the American or Conference USA or something. So I don't know if Oklahoma's going to have some trouble this year, or if they're just almost dropped the game against Tulane. But 35-40 is way too close for number 2 Oklahoma.
Second and 5 coming up here. Ball on the 25-yard line.
Iowa State beats Northern Iowa 16-10. Now Iowa State is ranked number 7. I haven't paid attention too much to what Iowa State's been doing, but For Iowa State to be in the top 10,
It's third down, and this offense is about 3 feet away from that first down marker.
I don't know about that one.
And this
I'll have to
place
see
is
more.
rocking.
Especially since it's against Northern Iowa, and Northern Iowa believes an FCS team. So for number 7, I know it's just the first game, so it's tough to really judge it by the first couple games.
First down. He makes it to the 35-yard
Fumble recovered by Colin Gillespie. Colin Gillespie, he was the 12th man at A&M for the past couple years. And a player like him, I think he was he got drafted to the Texans, and I think he's with the I forget which team he is with now. But he was a walk-on at Texas A&M. Got the scholarship. He got to wear the number 12 jersey, which is a big thing at A&M. And he was everything the 12th man should be on the field. I mean, he was a real impact player. I mean, he was causing fumbles, making big hits, blocking kicks or punts. And I mean, he was almost like the secondary mascot, because I mean, everybody loved Colin Gillespie. And in 2018, Jimbo Fisher moved him over to fullback, and he did a decent job. Man, someone like Colin Gillespie over at A&M, he's the kind of player that A&M needs wearing the number 12 jersey. Because usually it's just, he's usually a number 12. The 12th man is going to be the best of the walk-ons. And sometimes, that's not saying a whole lot. It's not saying a whole lot, but I mean, Colin Gillespie, I mean, he was a force to be reckoned with, really. There he is again, getting tackled behind the line. I think he was the only 12th man to score a touchdown, or the first one to score a touchdown and get drafted. So he was a big deal on it. I don't think we'll see another one of him in a while over A&M, unfortunately. Kellen Mond getting sacked. Kellen Mond is an interesting player to talk about because he's a 4-year starter at A&M, which, I mean, if you can have a 4-year starter in college, that's what you want. That gives you experience, it gives you seniority, maturity, all that kind of stuff. He's a 4-year starter. He was in, he made games competitive. He made games competitive against Clemson. He led the team against LSU when they beat them in overtime with like 70 plus points. He's had good wins. The problem, not really a problem, but there's like drama surrounding Kellen Mond, surrounding some. There's a statue over A&M and all that stuff about statues coming down. He was kind of a part of that. So there are a lot of people that were upset about that because the statue over A&M is called Sully. He's basically credited for saving the university in its early days. And so for someone to criticize Sully, the person who saved Texas A&M University, That's like that's a dig to the heart at A&M for some people. And I can understand that. So, Philemon had some drama surrounding him. And I can see both sides of the argument. But football-wise, he's a pretty solid player. He's over playing for the Vikings now. And people call him a scrambler. Well, in this game, his type, or this roster set, his type is set to scrambler. And he's run a lot, or he's run plenty, but he's not really a scrambler. Man, keep dropping those bombs on me. Philemon is like he's more of a reluctant runner. He can run. He's not going to do anything too fancy. He's just going to, if he finds the open lane, he's going to take it. And he's taken it to the house a couple times on some long distance runs. But his body style really reminds me of Randall Cunningham. Just a little bit. Like, he's kind of tall and lanky. He's not like thick like some of these NFL quarterbacks are, like Bortles or any of those big guys, Big Ben. So he's relatively thin, tall, and lanky. But he kind of reminds me of Randall Cunningham a little bit. Kansas State beats Stanford 24-7. Texas beats Louisiana 38-18. West Virginia beats Maryland, or Maryland beats West Virginia 30-24. Texas Tech beats Houston 21-38. I kind of think that since Texas and Oklahoma are heading to the SEC apparently, I think one team that the SEC, or sorry, the Big 12 should look at is Houston. Houston, I mean, they had some pretty good years with, what's his name? The guy that just got fired at Texas. What was his name?
Second down and 11 yards to the sticks. Ball on their own 22.
Tom something. Somebody get that ball. It's not a fumble. Houston had some pretty good years with him, and he took off to Texas and recently got fired. But Houston used to be in the Southwestern Conference. You know, they used to be in a conference alongside Texas A&M, Texas, Baylor. I mean, basically a lot of the Big 12 teams that exist now. So it would be cool to see Houston and Texas Tech reunited back into the same conference. And that would elevate Houston. Probably one of the biggest. I'm going to go for it here.
Looks like they're going to go for it on fourth down. This is kind of a surprising call right here by the coach. This is an obvious punting situation. Look for it on the ground, and he's not going to get there. They'll turn the ball over on down.
Questionable play calling there by the coaching staff. It's way too early in the game.
Definitely not a power running team.
I would have punted the ball in that situation.
The biggest product to come out, or one of the biggest products to come out of Houston was Andre Ward. And that was back in the 80s, I think. 90s, 80s. But maybe if they join the Big 12, that'll bring up their prestige.
That play was sort of out of sync from the start, but you have to also recognize that the defense made a great play. They read it from the get-go.
The offense calls a timeout, and that was their third and final timeout.
Oklahoma State beats Missouri State 23-16. A little too close for that one. Texas State loses to Baylor, but only by 9 points. TCU beats the Quesney. Never heard of that school. 45-3.
Taken down by the kicker.
Here's Boise State and UCF. UCF beats Boise State 36-31. So pretty decent win for UCF. Boise State, probably one of the better mid-tier teams up in the, what is that, Midwest, or the, I don't know what region that would be. Boise State, Idaho. So let me make some adjustments here. We're going to have to see if these changes will. I have to get up 3 scores. 4 scores, actually. Assuming I don't go for any 2 points.
And down he goes at the 24. For Texas A&M, this one has not gone as planned, and they find themselves in a hole to start the second half.
Appalachian State beats East Carolina 33-19. Tulsa loses to UC Davis 17-19. Miami, Ohio loses to Cincinnati 49-14. That's another team that people were saying should have been in the, or close to the college football playoff. Remember they had a pretty decent record the last couple years. Maybe they'll get to a bigger bowl this year. Rutgers beats Temple 61-14. Not what I wanted.
Second and 8. Ball on the 26-yard line.
I change plays here.
They're calling an audible. They work the right side, and there is nothing.
3rd and 7.
Maybe a yard on the run by the tailback.
Navy loses to Marshall 49-7. And it sucks to be the military academies that just run the option a lot of the time and just basically do a lot of losing.
He drops back. Good open field tackle. They couldn't get anything to work, and it will be 4th down.
You always like to move the ball at least past midfield, if only to win the field position battle. The defense wasn't going to give them anything on that drive.
Swain fields it at the 30, and he's tackled at the 36. So he managed to get a few yards on the run back.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Brad, with so much traffic,
Memphis beats Nichols 42-17. SMU beats Abilene Christian 56-9.
1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down.
Need to catch the interceptions.
Let's find out.
There's a pretty decent upset. Illinois
That
beats
penalty will
Nebraska
affect the
30 to
play.
22. Apparently on a scoop and score.
Happen occasionally.
Well, to end the second half. Sure they weren't happy about that.
So first down once again, but a long ways to go after that penalty.
Ohio State beats Minnesota 45 to 31. Pretty close.
Gets to about the 27-yard line. Gain of about a
Michigan
yard
State
on
beats
that.
Northwestern 38 to 21. Penn State beats Wisconsin by 6, 16 to 10.
From their own 27-yard line.
That was a top 25 matchup. Man,
They hand it off again. Gets to
I don't
around the
understand why I can't stop the run. Guess I need more guys in the box.
They're about 4 yards away here on third down.
Iowa beats Indiana.
Pitch out. Gets out to around the 45.
The defense was a little bit slow in reacting to the pitch out, and he had the time and space to break open for a good game.
It's first and 10. Ball on the 45. Hands off and not much room there as they try to work the left side. And the halfback carries for a pickup of 3.
Second and 8.
From the 42-yard line. Second down.
Kind of confused by the scores here. I guess Nebraska and Illinois played a Saturday game, and now they've played 2 games so far. Because Illinois beats Nebraska and then they lose to UTSA. Come on, somebody stop them.
Hand off and he won't make it.
This is a good call by the defensive coordinator. He guessed run.
Field goal.
When the offense came with it, his guys were in position to make the stop.
They'll line it up for a very long field goal attempt. It has the distance.
What's going on in the SEC? Tennessee beats Bowling Green. Alabama beats up on Miami. That's no surprise.
McPherson has the ball all teed up, and he's ready to kick this one off.
Georgia beats Clemson.
From his own goal line. He makes it out to maybe
A&M
the
beats
22-yard
Kent State. Kent State held on for a while at the beginning. I watched that game, of course. And there was a lot of sloppiness at the first half. But they got it cleaned up, I think, towards the end. Definitely can't play like that against the SEC teams for sure.
Batted away. From their own 23-yard line.
Florida
Second
beats
down.
Florida Atlantic. UCLA beats LSU. I think LSU is going to have...
Finds his tight end open.
And 81 keeps dropping that ball. Jay Sternberger. 3rd and 10.
their own 23-yard
LSU might be
line.
having a down year, or UCLA just might be picking it up
And that one's incomplete.
now that they have
Successful throwing the football. You can't gain
Chip
solid
Kelly.
yardage if the
Yeah,
defense
they got
isn't
Chip Kelly as their
concerned about the
coach.
passing game. They're going to end up crowding the line of scrimmage.
That was ridiculous. I don't know how many dropped passes I've had this drive. Looks like he just swatted the ball with his palm.
A run on every down.
Fourth down. They come out in a punt formation.
Kentucky beats ULM.
And he's taken down at the 42.
Arkansas beats Rice. Mississippi State beats Louisiana Tech by 1 point. I gotta do something else here.
They'll get the ball here at the 42-yard line. First and 10. Florida with a commanding lead. To the right and tackled immediately. Nowhere to go on the delay.
Missouri beats Central Michigan. Interesting thing about Missouri is that they actually have an SEC East title already.
Second and 10. Ball on the
I think that was like within 1 or 2 years of joining the SEC.
big advantage.
They had a pretty decent quarterback back then. I think it was James Franklin or something.
Hands it off inside, brought down. Not much of a contest here as we head into the
But
final stanza.
Missouri came in
Here in game
to the SEC East
27, Texas A&M.
when they were pretty weak. I mean, the SEC West was pretty weak that year too, but I mean, Alabama and LSU and Florida were pretty good. But Missouri is... You'd think that they would have more success given that they already have an SEC East title, but they've kind of fallen down to being like a mid to low tier
And he tackles him hard.
SEC East team,
Unfortunately, I've taken a few of those in my
even
day.
with the title.
Not pleasant.
And that's 3 and out. Nothing going on that series.
What sucks about being in the SEC West is that at least in this era, you're guaranteed I just saw that A&M had a black coach. That was supposed to be Kevin Sumlin. But they should have switched it to Jimbo Fisher. Guessing they didn't change the coaches. Have to find a roster that does.
At the 20. He's tackled at the 25. They were lucky to prevent a big return there.
Yep.
But in the SEC West, you're guaranteed at least one loss. Almost guaranteed with Alabama. But it's very likely that you're going to lose 2 or 3 with LSU and Auburn.
They'll start at the 25-yard line. It's first and 10. Here's the option. And they hit him in the backfield.
I was going to say that Mon should have probably handed off to Travion here, but got 2 guys waiting for him on the left side there. Basically have 3 guys. 2 guys. Well, 3 guys. A bad botched play.
Second and 13 coming up here. Ball on the 22.
East Tennessee State beats up on Vanderbilt 23-3.
Quick shot, the defender tips it away.
This guy is mostly used
Looks
to
like
stopping
Vanderbilt's
the run, but
having
here he showed that he's not too bad against the pass.
bad time over there.
From their own 22-yard line, it's third down.
Come on.
And they bring him down for a sack on the play.
He's getting ready to chuck it down the field. It's 4th and 21. That's...
The sack makes this a
They're
4th
just
and 0.
guaranteed. Not guaranteed, but 24 yards, 21 yards. It's hard to make in one down.
It's a great kick. Swain fields at the 44.
I guess I should have gone for it. There's only 3 minutes left.
So he got a little on that return.
Well, Brad, early it looked like there was an opening there, but the seam closed quickly.
The offense will start at the 48. It's 1st and 10. Goes left and tackled in a hurry. A couple, maybe 3 yards on that run. Second and 8 coming up here. Ball on the 45-yard line. Just under 3 to go in regulation.
Man.
But hold on, we got a penalty on the play. Let's check it out.
Way too much jersey there. Pretty easy call for the officials.
So I kind of follow North Texas a little bit.
Just over 2 minutes.
They have... They're over in the Conference USA.
Another run.
They kind of have a little bit of a bright future for them right now. At least in their league. Because they have... I think it was TCU's former offensive coordinator. Forgot his name, but he's one of those high-powered offense kind of guys.
From the 36-yard line. First down.
Beating up on Northwestern State 44-14. Just running through everybody. I don't know if it's sliders or if I just suck at picking plays. I guess they do have fullback and a tight end.
From the 21-yard line. First down. Just over a minute in the 4th quarter. Here's a run up the gut, but nothing going there. The running back gets a yard, maybe less.
Guess I should call a timeout.
And that was their first timeout. We've got a 2nd and 9 here. We're down to just a minute in this game. We have less than a minute to go. They go right back to him, and he's got a lane. And there's another one.
That's ridiculous.
Such a talented, skillful back, as you saw right there. What makes him even better is that
1,
these coaches
2,
know how to
3.
use him.
They got to him early, but didn't get quite enough of him.
25. What's his ratings? Break tackles a 76. Trucking 72. Elusive 92. I don't play this game too much, so I don't really know how the offense and defense plays in this game.
So that's a 5-play, 36-yard drive, and it's good for 7 points.
I actually have a dynasty that I
34, nothing.
just played by myself. An NCAA 11.
As the ball all teed up, and
I think I might play that on the channel. We'll see. It's a couple seasons in, so I got all new players.
tackle at the 23-yard line.
It doesn't have coach mode, but I don't know how much I trust coach mode in NCAA football 12.
They'll go to work at the 23. 1st and 10. And it's knocked
It's
down.
dropped again.
Pretty much the best way to make sure the receiver doesn't catch it. He just put his pads on him the second he touched it.
Catches it and hit for no gain.
34-0. Oh my god.
They'll bring him down at the 35-yard line. The Aggies call for a timeout, and now they've only got one remaining. From their own 35-yard line. First down.
And one thing that somebody said that I do kind of notice is that the AI quarterbacks in these NCAA football games, if they scramble and run, it's always going to be up the gut, more or less, up the line of scrimmage. You're never going to see someone like scramble to the left, extend the play and then throw the pass. But supposedly you do see that more in the PS2 versions. '99 probably should have been able to tackle him. He just shoulder charged through the DB there. Well, see what happens.
No time to throw. They got in there quickly. The Aggies call a
See if I can
timeout
walk
as
off
their
the field
last
with
timeout.
score at least.
Defense looking for another sack in this 2nd down and long situation. He airs it out. No.
Overthrown.
That one sailed on him.
He wanted his receiver, but I think that may have slipped out of his hands.
And now they're faced with another 3rd and long as they try to convert and move those chains again. He's looking to pass. They'll make the sack.
Come on.
Boy, this defense really came to play today.
Well, they said before the game that they wanted to put a lot of pressure on this quarterback.
I want to see if anyone was open. Probably would have tossed it to that Travion. He's open right there. Completely open. That's probably a touchdown right there. That's ridiculous. Catches that. I don't think 13 catches up to him. Well, that sucks.
They sure stuck to that plan.
4th and long here after the sack.
Well, I don't know how much more Coach Mile will be playing on NCAA 12.
That's the end of the ball game, and our final
If the AI is going to make those kind of decisions.
Texas A&M, nothing.
There's no, like, I don't think there's any attribute for QB vision or seeing open players or not.
Summarize the action in this one.
Well, Brad, very, very
So,
disappointing performance
they're just
by
gonna
the offense. Texas
they're just
A&M
gonna keep
was
on
scoreless for this entire game, and I don't think they expected that.
making bad choices, I think.
Offense and figure out how they can put some more points on the board.
There's Kevin Sumlin with the 2018 Aggies, even though he got fired in 2017.
Well, this young man is our player of the game.
Maybe this was 2017 to 18.
Will be made to the school's general scholarship fund in his name.
But they still thought someone was going to be coach. I don't know. Guess I need the 2019 roster.
That's it for this presentation of NCAA Football 12. For Kirk Herbstreit and Aaron Andrews, I'm Brad Nessler saying thanks.
And it sucks this was the only college football game out at the time. Could have used some 2K college football. It would have been way better than this. The Gator Chomp. Just bumping off the tacklers. Let's see the stats. Only 3 first downs in 4 quarters. 24 yards of total offense. I mean, that's 17 rushes for -4 yards. 6 completions out of 13 for 28 yards. Beat him in time of possession, but can't score a single point. Well, that about does it. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I'm going to do a lot more. I will see you guys in the next one.